Hello and welcome. Today, I just wanted to offer a space where we can set the tone for our day if you are doing this practice in the morning, or maybe even just a space to reconnect if you're doing this at another time, maybe after a long, busy day, to just reconnect with the self and find some ground. So yeah, we'll begin in child's pose. So bringing the hips to the heels, and let's take traditional balasana, child's pose, with bringing the hands back towards the heels, gently resting the forehead down on the ground. And just finding the breath here. Taking a few moments in the beginning of our practice to just connect with the breath. Maybe setting an intention. And as you breathe, gradually deepen the breath, really breathing into the belly, the side ribs, and the back of the body. Feeling the body expand fully with each inhale and a gentle softening with every exhale. Just a couple more rounds here. Inhaling fully and exhale completely. Good. On your next inhale, begin to reach the arms out long. And then we're going to make our way into a seated position on the shins. So almost like this slow upward drip. Begin dragging the hands back towards you as you stack the spine. Inhaling, and then begin to lift the arms up, slowly unfurling, maybe finding a cactus in the arms, opening the chest, and then circling the arms down and around and bringing them out in front as the back rounds. So we'll do this a few times with breath, finding some cat-cow in the spine, inhaling, opening the arms up, finding some broadness in the chest, and then circling them around as you round the back, chin drops to chest. So 2 or 3 more times like this, moving with your breath, finding your rhythm, maybe haloing over the head. Good. Just finding some undulation in the spine. Good. Once more, just because it feels so good. And then release the hands to the mat, making your way into tabletop. So coming onto all fours. And again, maybe just find some movement in the body, maybe some full body circles, 3 or 4 times in one direction, really feeling into the wrists. And then after your next rotation, going 3 or 4 times in the other direction. And just noticing this subtle shift in weight as you circle around. And then after your next rotation, we'll meet in neutral tabletop. And then go ahead and extend the right leg long behind you, toes tap down on the ground. So feeling a nice stretch in the back of the right leg. And then go ahead and tap the toes off the left side of the mat. Maybe gazing back at the foot. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and bring the right foot up in between the hands. inhale, press down to lift up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Good. And then we'll find a side body stretch in our low lunge. Maybe exhale, release the hand to the hip, or even coming to a block or the ground as you reach over towards the right with the left fingertips. And really reaching out of that left hip. So feeling this nice big line of sensation from the left hip all the way out through the left fingertips. Big deep breath in and out. Good. Inhale yourself back up to center. Maybe right hand comes to right hip. Release the left hand down on the inside of the right foot. And then exhale, shift the hips back, lengthening that front leg. We're going to find Ardha Hanumanasana with a twist. So opening up towards the right, reaching the right fingertips up towards the sky. Good. So shoulder blades draw together. Pulling back on that right hip crease. Just breathing deeply into the stretch. And then on your next exhale, begin to stay in this twisted position, but bend the right knee, foot plant, and then windmill the arms open into revolved low lunge. So maybe that right hand plants on the back of the thigh or even the sacrum as the left arm reaches long in front. Good. Breathing in and exhale. Begin to release the hands back down to frame the foot and step that right foot back to meet the left. And we'll do that on our other side. So go ahead and extend that left leg long behind you. I'm feeling some activation in the back of the left leg. And then go ahead and tap the left toes off the right side of the mat, maybe gazing back at the foot. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and bring that left foot up in between the hands and then press down through that front foot to inhale, lift you up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Let me scoot my block over there. And we'll come into that side body stretch, either releasing hand to hip as you reach over towards the left. Maybe the hand finds a block or even comes down to the ground. Whatever is in your practice today. Just making sure the breath is able to flow smoothly and with ease. Good. Reaching out of that right hip, really reaching over towards the left with the right fingertips. And then inhale yourself back to center. Maybe left hand comes to the hip as the right hand plants on the inside of the left foot. Exhale, shift the hips back, lengthen that front leg as you begin to rotate yourself open towards the left, finding this half splits twist. Pulling back on the left hip crease, see if that changes the sensation of the stretch. And really drawing the shoulder blades back toward one another. Good. Staying here in this twisted position as we then exhale, bend the knee, foot plants, and windmill the arms open into revolved low lunge. Full round of breath in. And exhale, hands plant, step the left foot back, tabletop position. And go ahead and tuck the toes and we'll come into our first downward facing dog. So press down through the hands as you send the hips up high towards the sky. Maybe taking a moment to pedal out, relaxing the head down, ears in between the biceps. And just have a pedal, have a wag. Good. And then we'll find stillness, dropping both heels down towards the ground. On your next inhale, begin to lift the right toes, reaching back. And then open up the hip. So maybe the weight goes a little bit more into the left hand as you open up the right hip. Good. Breathing here. And then coming back through center, extending that right leg. And then exhale, step the right foot through and deep bend in the knees, finding crescent lunge. Inhale, press down as we lift up. Making sure the feet are on train tracks, so giving some bit of a distance, a wider stance to help with balance and stabilization. Grab for the left wrist and finding that side body stretch in our crescent lunge, reaching over towards the right. Breathing into the left side body. Inhale back to center, and a couple options here. So you can exhale, release yourself back down and find that Ardha Hanumanasana half splits twist here like we did just a moment ago. Or staying up in crescent lunge, begin to exhale, plant the left fingertips up towards the left corner of the mat, and we'll find revolved half moon. So nice juicy bend in this front standing leg and lift the left toes up off the ground as the right fingertips reach up towards the sky. Good. So steady breath here. I'm not too concerned about how high that left leg can lift, more so looking for a reach. Good. One more full round of breath here. And then exhale, begin to gently plant the toes back down, and we'll find revolved crescent lunge. Good. A little bit of a balance here. Finding steadiness. And then exhale, windmill the hands down, high skandasana, back of the mat. Meeting in a runner's lunge, chest lifted. And then begin to plant the back knee down, and we'll walk the left foot over towards the right side of the mat and find our way into pigeon pose. So extending that right leg long behind as the left knee is bent. An option to stay up with the spine long, or maybe exhaling, folding over that front leg. So your choice, feeling into your body and what it needs today. And just 2 or 3 deep rounds of breath. Really drinking in as you inhale and exhale, letting it go. Maybe adding an audible exhale, like a hum or a sigh that tickles the vagus nerve to activate our rest and digest response. On your next inhale, wherever you are, we'll begin to meet ourselves back up in pigeon with the spine long, and then tuck the back toes, plant the hands, begin to lift the back knee, and we'll find our way downward facing dog. Staying here for a full round of breath. On your next inhale, begin to wave yourself forward. So coming up onto the toes, puffing up the back of the heart, shifting into plank pose. And then begin to bend the knees so much, almost like they're about to touch, and then send yourself back up, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, the left toes lift. And open up that left hip. Create some space here. Maybe more weight into the right hand. Inhale yourself back to center, squaring off the hips. And then exhale, step the left foot through. Deep bend in the knees as we inhale up into crescent lunge. Good. Steady breath here. Grab for the right wrist and reach over towards the left. Breathing into the right rib cage. Inhaling yourself back to center. Your option to come into half splits twist or revolved half moon. So right fingertips plant towards the top right corner of the mat. Bend in that standing leg as we begin to lift the right toes off the mat. Extend that left arm long. Fingertips reach towards the sky. Good. Big breath in and out. On your next exhale, begin to gently plant the back toes and we'll open up into revolved crescent lunge. Good. Then begin to windmill the arms back down, high skandasana, top of the mat, meeting in runner's lunge. Plant the back knee, begin to walk the right foot over towards the left, making your way pigeon pose. Good. Option to stay up tall or exhale, fold the torso over the front leg. Good. 2 to 3 deep rounds of breath here. Just creating space. Maybe adding an audible exhale, seeing if you can sink a little bit deeper into the pose with each breath. Inhale yourself back up, planting the hands. And then we're going to go ahead, keep this leg bent, foot towards the pelvis. Swing the left leg around and in front. So grabbing for the back of the thigh or the calf and coming into a hamstring stretch. So maybe staying here, experimenting with walking the hands up, maybe grabbing for the foot. Good. Chest pulls forward as the shoulders relax away from the ears. Good. And then take the right hand, grab for the outside of the foot, and we'll open up into a twist. So big inhale here as we peel open towards the left. Maybe gazing back at the thumb. Good. And then exhale, release the foot, and we'll switch sides. So bringing the left shin down, left foot in close towards the pelvis, and then extend the right leg long, maybe grabbing for behind the thigh or the calf, and experimenting with maybe grabbing a hold of the foot. Heart reaches towards the foot. Breathing into the back of the leg. And maybe grabbing for the outside of the foot as you inhale, find a twist, peeling open. Maybe gazing back at the thumb. And then coming back, releasing the foot. And bring both feet out in front, keeping the knees bent, feet planted. And we'll find boat pose. So a little bit of a core activation here. Once more, maybe grabbing for behind the thighs. And begin to lean back so much until you feel the abdominal muscles activate. So relaxing the shoulders down the back, chest reaches forward, keeping the core engaged. And then begin to lift the feet off the ground. Maybe shins stay parallel to the floor. An option to keep your hands here for support or maybe behind, or extending them long on the sides of the body. Steady breath here. Sometimes when we have these poses that we hold, we have the tendency to hold the breath, and just seeing if you can allow it to flow smoothly and evenly. Never want to sacrifice the breath. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. Soles of the feet come together, knees wide, finding Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So inhale, spine long, crown of the head reaching up, rooting down through the sit bones. And exhale, pour forward. I'm just staying here for a couple rounds of breath, letting everything pour out. Inhale, rise back up. And we'll meet in Sukhasana, good space pose, crossing the legs. Maybe closing the eyes down if that feels comfortable for you. Hands can be on the knees, either palm up or palm down. And just taking a moment to pause. To pause and soak in the effects of your practice. And closing out with 3 rounds of breath together. Maybe breathing in for 4 and exhaling for 5 to activate that parasympathetic nervous system with that extended exhale. So breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just returning to a natural rhythmic breath. And bringing hands to heart center, bowing the head down to seal our practice in thanks and gratitude. I look forward to practicing with you somewhere again on your mat. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Namaste.